Well, hi, my name is Bob, from My Life in 75 Square Feet. And today's episode is being shot from on top of Point Park in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, as you can look out here, Point Park overlooks Chattanooga, and it had a big impact on the Civil War. Point Park is located on Lookout Mountain. It's a good name because Lookout is what they did to see the advancement of enemy soldiers coming through. So today's episode is not about Point Park. What it is about is the divided states of America. The United States is more divided than any other time since I've been on this planet. Now, there was a time when the United States was divided. It was so divided that there was a war, and it was the Civil War. Now, I wasn't alive then, and I think that we're more divided now than we were during the Civil War. Now, the Civil War was for different reasons. It was basically because of slavery. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't believe anybody should ever be a slave to somebody. We might make ourselves slaves to our economic situations because we buy too much and then have to get a job. But I don't think anybody should be an out-and-out slave to anybody. So I believe that if that's what had to happen to stop slavery, then that's what had to happen. And I gotta watch what I say because I am in the South right now. Now, y'all know I spent a lot of time in Florida. At the Planet Fitness where I always went, I had a friend named Al. And Al was in the Vietnam War. And he told me that the United States is more divided now than North and South Vietnam was. And they were killing people. So back to the divided states of America. Why do I call it the divided states? In the Civil War, the division was different. It was basically the North against the South, although there were brother against brother, there were neighbor against neighbor, but mostly it was a North against the South. Right now, what we see in the United States, it could be brother against brother, brother against sister, it's whatever. It could be your neighbor against you. There are no lines of division. There's no North against the South, no East against the West. I already see division in families, friends, neighbors. I see it. I feel it. And what I believe is fueling all of this is the media. Now, a lot of people are going to be upset with me that I'm blaming the media, but the media has a way to dramatize everything. Even check the weather out. It used to be whatever the mercury said was the temperature. Now we have to have feels like temperature. Everything's got to be supersized. So the media tries to make drama because that's where they make their money. How many of you live in places where it snows and the media tells you you're going to get dumped on, so everybody runs out to the store and buys as much food as they possibly can, even though the roads are going to be cleared by the next morning? It's the media's job to do that. There's a new set of media called social media that's even worse. And the social media allows people like you and me to spread our hate on the internet so everybody could read it and they could react to it. I have seen so many posts where people are spreading hate, and a lot of it is politically motivated. I've almost taken myself off of Facebook multiple times over the last few months. I have seen more hate, more mudslinging, more horrible posts, and it's not just from one side to the other. It's everywhere. It kind of upsets me. Sometimes I even get upset with it because it might not be my point of view. I even ask myself, have I added to this hatred? And if I did, I need to really check myself because I don't want to be the cause of what's coming down. You know, all this mudslinging that I see on Facebook, I believe it's divided families, friends. It's going to divide the entire United States. Thus, we will now be the divided states of America. Not a happy place to be. I actually think the United States is going to have a hard time with this next election and getting through it without getting into a war. I have no idea where all this is going to lead. I have concern that there are people in the United States that have big money that want this division to happen, because then they could call out martial law and control us. Now, I could be way off a base here, but my guess is we might not be too far from something like that. Now, was that 5 years, 10 years, 2 years? I don't know. I think a couple big events have to take place, and then we'll see what happens. Now, this idea, the divided states of America, just didn't enter my brain today. I've been thinking about this for a couple years now. I'm wondering how many of you have noticed the same thing I've noticed. You have to. You can't be alive in this world and not see how divided the United States is now. I'm probably going to do a live video on this at some point. I actually believe the next few years are going to be exciting years to live in. Maybe not the excitement that we're looking for, but they're going to be exciting. I believe we all have a job and a calling not to add to this division. And I found that if I could leave my comments and not say a word, I'm probably doing better for this cause than if I would say something, because you're not going to win anybody over with your comments right now. So all I ask is that you try your very best not to add any more division in your posts on Facebook or anywhere else. Fair enough? And I'm hoping that someday people aren't visiting a place like this discussing the Civil War of 2020 or whatever. Sometime today, I'm going to be leaving Chattanooga, Tennessee and moving onward because I got to work my way north. Now, if you like this video, I ask you to hit that like button and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel as of yet, I ask that you please subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified of my next videos. Until next time,